All right. So let's go ahead and get into this.
Forgive me, Father, for I have not ranted in a week or more. And as I'm sitting here, I feel a rant coming on. I don't know if that's good or bad. And this one's going to be all over the place. So if you don't like to hear a rant that's incoherent maybe and all over the place, then this is your time to check out. If you don't want to hear strong emotions, maybe even strong language sprinkled in here or there, it's time for check out. If you're a pro-black and you don't want to hear the truth, the hardcore truth about us and our situation, you don't want to get triggered, it's time for you to check out. Okay, right now. Okay, you've been warned. Like I said, I feel a rant coming on. Now, I've been hearing this slow dismantling of what used to be the manosphere that was firmly planted in red pill ideology, and now it's slipping back into blue pill, or seemingly so. I wouldn't even say that the vast majority of people are slipping back into blue pill. I think they're trying to shift. Newcomers coming and trying to shift red to purple and purple back to blue, using certain tactics, certain ideologies that are basically unprovable. And this is happening in the whole manosphere. It's just
Okay, now let me speed this up a bit. Okay. All right, let's go to 1.5. Okay.
listen to Roland Tomasi. He's seeing that it's not just happening in the black sphere, it's happening all over the so-called manosphere. Because the men that they need to hold the structure together are leaving. And they're trying to figure out where have the men gone. And what they're finding out is that the men, as a group, whether they say it or not, whether they claim it or not, whether they're online or not, are leaving for red pill spaces. And the red pill message is what they...
Okay. Let's stop it right there. His camp, BGS's camp, have left to red. They have left the community to red pill spaces because BGS himself was never a leader himself. He was never someone leading the black community. He never had the aptitude for it. He never had the, you know, he never had the ability to do it in an effective manner. Okay, so now that he's up there in age, he's talking about, I'm leaving, I'm going red pill, but you already 60 years old, nigga. So it don't matter what you do at this point because you've lived the prime years of your life. You didn't try to become a leader or affect change, the type of change that you're talking about in the prime years of your life. Okay. So now you talking about going red pill, and it's ironic because in the avatar he has a black pill, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. He doesn't even have a red pill in the avatar. But I digress. Let's continue.
They need to bring these men back into some kind of order. This is a white guy. This is Roland Tomasi. This is not a black person. This is not a black YouTube figure. Because Roland Tomasi has just gotten on to YouTube. Roland Tomasi was not a YouTube figure in the manosphere. Roland Tomasi is one of the pillars of the red pill space, as we know it today, the modern red pill space. And I am seeing the same thing that's going on in the black manosphere, probably for the same reason. Men are leaving, and there are no men to carry out the projects that the community, whatever you want to call it, needs for them to carry out. And the message that they're using is falling on deaf ears. So just like what's going on in the white manosphere, same thing happening in the black manosphere. You have new actors coming into red pill spaces to recruit the men back. The difference between the white manosphere spaces and the black manosphere spaces is the white manosphere spaces are trying to weave red pill language in and soothe these white men to come back to the white civilization and live their former blue pill lives. Now, the black manosphere, which is something that I can't fathom, I don't get, especially amongst our conscious community or our pro-black community. And maybe it's because we're raised by a different kind of woman, and this is a gynocracy. Is that I'm listening to them trying to appeal to black men that.
All right, let me stop it. It's only a gynocracy, BGS, because guys like you and your generation were not concerned about power. Okay, they were good. They was concerned about going around slinging dick. Okay, they wasn't trying to build anything. They wasn't trying to build businesses or corporations and build a black corporate America like what Ramil has talked about on his channel. Okay, shout out to brother Ramil. Okay, they wasn't doing that. What they was doing is they was going around chasing pussy, chasing dick, and tricking, and thinking that trying to be fake pimps, trying to dress up like Superfly and dress up in these loud ass colors and these pimp suits and all that. That's what they was doing. That's what you was doing, BGS. Okay, that's what you was doing. Show was. Okay, but you want to sit here and talk about, you know, it's a gynocracy. Yeah, it's a gynocracy because of you, because of your generation, because of what y'all did. Let's continue.
That have so-called, they're on the fence and so-called have left the blue side of the blue pill spaces for red pill spaces and try to appeal to them not by infusing words of reason, but by shaming. And I've heard, shout out to Gap, I like Gap. I was listening to Gap, and that's part of what triggered me. You're telling me that you don't have to have facts or you don't have to research anything to argue against what we're saying. And that's fine. If we're debating, that's fine. If you're having an argument, that's fine, and you believe what you believe. The thing at the end of the day, if you already believe what you believe. Nobody's trying to convince you, Gab, to come over to the other side. Nobody's going over to pro-black areas trying to pull people back to a red pill side. We're not trying to convince you. That is the issue that, I thought was my last ramble, because it wasn't a rant. I said, well, it's going to be a rant. This is going to be a rant. I thought it was clear that the last time that I spoke about this was yesterday. The secret is that nobody convinced these guys in these red pill spaces to be over here. There wasn't no sales pitch. There is no, it's going to be better at the end of the rainbow. There is no, we're going to get you more pussy. There is no, we're going to make you more money. There is no, we're going to make the community better. There is nothing.
Okay, you're saying, okay, nobody advertised these guys to come over here. Well, the advertisement is your defeatist mindset. Okay, defeatist people will follow other defeatist people. Defeatist people tend to clump together in a group. Okay, that's what they tend to do. When you're a defeatist person like that, okay, that's what they tend to do. They tend to clump together in a group. Okay, so he's talking about, oh, we're not advertising. Yeah, but y'all are clumping together in a group like that, and basically reveling in the defeatism with one another. But I digress. Let's continue.
None of that. None of that happened. None of that went on. We didn't sell people to be here. That's what you're not getting. The rhetoric that we have is not selling people to be here. We're not going over pro-black spaces, advertising, and saying, hey, it's better over here in the red pill space. Nobody did that. Nobody held up a flag and a banner with a whole bunch with 10 amendments and 30 other points saying this is what you're going to have if you come over to the red pill space. Nobody said that. The environment created red pill men. The environment is creating red pill men. And we tell red pill men, then it is what it is. We didn't create it. You're probably not going to change it. And all we're doing is warning you that this is what the reality is, and this is the probable outcome, according to historical patterns. You cannot unsee what you've already seen. And social media is all they're doing is exchanging notes. Did you see what I saw in LA over in Raleigh, North Carolina, or New York City, or Miami, Florida, or Dallas, Texas, or Houston, Texas? It's coming back, yes, we did. And yes, we're tired of the same bullshit that you're tired of. And the only thing that we told them is that if you don't like what you're getting, don't participate. It's the only thing we've ever said. If you don't like what you're getting, don't participate.
Okay, so in other words, give up. That's basically what he said. And this is basically the story of BGS's entire life. Okay, give up. There's nothing you can do. We're powerless. The government has all the power. The elites have all the power. The big tech has all the power. China has all the power. The white man has all the power. This white supremacist has all the power. There's nothing we can do but just lay back and give up. Roll over and give up. There's nothing you can do. Take the red pill or the black pill because there's nothing that you can do. Okay? All right.
If that woman in that scenario is not bringing you some kind of value, don't participate. It's really that simple. A lot of people try to make red pill so complex. It's like some people just came together and weaved a whole bunch of scenarios and lies together and just pulled the wool over these black guys' eyes. No bullshit. Nobody pulled anything over anybody's eyes. Most guys that come to red pill spaces look for it, like I did. It's not that I couldn't get a woman. I had 4 of them. Yes, I had 4 of them, and I didn't like.
Okay, you what you was doing is you was tricking on 4 women. You did not have any of those women, BGS. You was tricking on them. You was flossing. You was trying to throw money at them, thinking that that was gonna give you love, you know. But what it was, BGS, is these women could see right through. They could see that you were not a leader, BGS. They could see this is a guy who sits up and he wants to read articles about China and all of the things China is doing, articles about Apple and IBM and these tech companies and all the things that they're doing. But what are you doing, BGS? What accomplishments have you made? And see, women notice that. When a dude just sitting around, he has no personal pride or accomplishments or anything, he has no ambition. He's just looking, he's looking for those things outside of himself. A woman can see that. And that's very unattractive to women. You didn't have any of those women, BGS. If so, how come none of them are by your side today? Just a nigga all by yourself now, BGS, in that house in South Central Los Angeles, all by your damn self now. I digress. Let's continue.
Any one of the options that I was given. And I said, there has to be something else because there's nothing satisfactory out there. There has to be something different because what I'm seeing is fucked up. What I'm seeing with the attitudes and the way things are and the way the laws are, it's fucked up. That was never an incel. I became a vocel. And I said, BGS, why did you stop doing that? I got tired of playing the goddamn game. So I took my dick and I went home and refused to play. I'm not doing that dance anymore. I'm not playing that game anymore. And there's no slight to people that still do it because guys that are younger, first I'm telling you, my path is not your path. You are not old enough to walk my path. You have to walk a different path because you're young. You need to have sex. You need female companionship to some degree because you are still at that age where it is a necessary part of your life. And that has always been part of the red pill, that you have options. And your job as a red pill man is to take the best set of options for you. No matter what color you are, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what your profession is, no matter what your income level, you take the best option for you that works for you. So a lot of these acronyms popped up because they're trying to find an ideology that takes the best set of options for them and applies them in some kind of organized, meaningful way. Even though it sounds willy-nilly and it's all over the place and it sounds horribly complex, it is not. It is horribly simple. And the opponents of the red pill refuse to believe that it's horribly simple. And all we're doing is taking a complex world with simple principles, which is find the best option for you, and refining it into a procedure that we can actually work with. And different ideas are thrown back and forth to do that. Some guys say, hey, you know what, it's easier for me to operate because I don't need to have a companion 24/7. I don't even need to have a companion once a week. Once every 3 months, I can get on a plane, take 2 weeks off or a week off, go get it all out of my systems, come back, and I'm good. There's tons of ways in between, all the way up to I'm going to live with a chick, have a couple of kids, and I'm going to sign a prenup or whatever I'm going to do, and that's where I'm going to live my life. And nobody from a voluntarily celibate person like me all the way up to a person that wants to have a family, nobody is actually questioning their will or wants to do anything. I'm red pill. It has nothing to do with me wanting or me serving my community. Nothing. Zero. Because that's something that I want to do. Not forced to do, not obligated to do, that I want to do. And like-minded people like me that are also red pill, that want to serve the community, we will do it in a capacity that works for us. There's people that don't. And the people that don't want to do it, I understand. And they understand the risk of by not doing it. They fully accept it. If I'm not part of the community, I have to take what I take. And
Now, don't be fooled by these dudes. They talking that red pill stuff. But a lot of these dudes that are red pill, a lot of these dudes are in the closet. That's the cold hard reality. Talking about all this red pill stuff. Well, I ain't dealing with women anymore. But you dealing with somebody. You dealing with somebody, okay? You're not just over there not doing nothing. No, you dealing with some damn body. Okay? But like I said, you gotta watch out for a lot of these dudes, but I digress. Let's continue.
in the broader society. And I have to take it and work my way out of it because guess what? I'm no longer part of the black community. And I have to understand that I have to operate like I'm not. But you're trying to sell.
Okay, he just admitted it right there. He's not part of the black community. So why is he talking about black people then? And black issues? And I told y'all this nigga every 2 minutes this nigga wants to talk about China and big tech and the EU and all this shit that ain't got nothing really to do globally with black people. He doesn't even really talk about Africa that much. He doesn't talk about, you got African whole political bodies of African nations that get together and they discuss world issues. He doesn't talk about that. He only talks about what's going on in the European world and China. And that's it. He completely skips over, the black collective and the black intelligentsia and collective of thought of black people globally. So he said he's not part of the black community. Okay, so then why should anyone listen to him then? Why should anyone listen to you, bro? Now, you're not my bro. I'm gonna call you bro. Why should anyone listen to your ass? I digress. Let's continue.
Or shame black men because they're not necessarily serving the black community, which is bullshit. You're trying to convince black men to come back and serve black women, which is really what you're trying to do, undercover.
Now, see, here's the problem. Okay, he doesn't believe in any stewardship for the community at all. Anything black men do for the community, they're serving the black women. It's this. Okay, so you don't you got a problem with black men doing things for the black community and you say that they're serving the black community, black women and all that. But when it comes to these white politicians and these these people that you idolize and stuff, you don't have any problem with black men working for white corporations and that kind of thing. In fact, you admire that. You admire a black man going and giving his life and working for a white corporation or whatever, or something that may at some point either lay him off or even discriminate against him. But you got a problem with that same black man working for his own community because he's saying, you're saying he's serving the black women. Okay, well, what about the white men in the white community? They continue to, they're trying to go blue pill now, and they're trying to realize that their strength lies in their civilization, the ability to maintain their civilization, maintain their family structure, maintain their generational wealth, maintain some sense of normalcy. They're starting to realize that, but you don't say that about them. But you only say that about the black men, and because you resent the idea of the black community. This is a nigga that he preaches Negro assimilation. That we gotta all go marry white people and have little mixed babies. Okay, and somehow that'll make white people love us. That's what this nigga believes. He believes that crazy shit. Okay, but I digress. Let's continue.
Because it's not a negotiation, because black women don't have anything to negotiate with. And increasingly, as this economy rolls on, they have less and less and less to negotiate with. You know that. That's why it never comes up. So the arguments that I'm hearing is that if you act like this ideal man that you prop up, and you compare it to other men, because that's the only way you can do it, you have to have a competition between men, which is something I was telling Kara last week. He was telling me the exact opposite. No, black women do not compare you to other men. Lo and behold, yes, the shaming tactics that we hear, the shaming tactics that we've heard for the last 60 years. Shaming tactic is that you are not operating like these men in these other cultures. And until you operate like these other men in these other cultures, guess what? You're going to be unsuccessful, and you're not a man. You are a man not, to borrow Tommy Curry's eloquent title. And for 200, 300, 400 years, these collection of men, of males, that have been sold by their own people, transported over here, treated horribly, and made to be the underclass of this country. Still
Okay, here he go with the victimization talk.
to this day are expected to compete on an unlevel playing field, betrayed by their own women.
There you go. There you go with the black man is always a perpetual victim. He's always betrayed by the black women. There's nothing is his fault. Nothing is our fault. It's everybody else's fault. And you wonder why none of those women you said you was with are still by your side. How is a woman going to be turned on by a man who thinks he's a perpetual victim? You see what I'm saying? Let's continue.
And don't give me this bullshit that black women didn't trace. As soon as you could found a way that you could chunk a society, you did. And I've heard the answer, why were families quote unquote stable? As stable as they probably could be until 1965. It is because until 1965, black women had no choice. There was no column A and column B, there was only column A. And
I'll tell you why they were stable. Because number one, black people were industrious. Okay, we owned more of our own businesses. We had skill sets. Let me repeat that. We had skill sets. Okay, and we used those skill sets to make a living. Okay, our first instinct wasn't, hey, let me go get a job at some white corporation. Okay, working under some, or let me go get a job at some school district, or some white school district, or some white hospital or something. Everything was in-house for the most part, and we supported our own shit. Never mind the fact that the civil rights generation gutted that and gave all that away. Never mind that, because he's not even going to touch that. He's not even going to mention that. Okay? But I digress. Let's move on.
they chafed under that choice even back then. You hear it in their own story. You don't believe me. Every time you pick up a woman's book, a black woman's book, they chafe under that reality. That they're actually bound to a man that they don't respect or maybe not even like. And according to Monahan's scissors, according to all...
Okay, but then why did those men go out of their way to go to socially integrate themselves so they can be employees for another patriarchal group of men? Have you asked yourself that? Then you want to wonder why this woman is looking at you a certain kind of way? I digress. Let's continue.
The white bureaucrats, it amazed them that when things got better, the women didn't stay with them. You notice that the white women, when things got better, they went back to their men. They stayed with their families. But when the black families started to get better, poverty went way down. Poverty got cut by 2/3. Instead of stabilizing the black family, guess what it did? It unstabilized the black family. The women left. Why? They didn't need you no more. Which happened to be a canary in the coal mine. Since white people didn't understand it.
Okay, what structure were you creating to include the women in? What business structure, what corporate structure, what social structure were you creating? What power structure were you creating as a black man to include those women into? Because if you created a power structure, you could set the guidelines, you could set okay, we want y'all to operate like this, like this, and like this. And if you don't do it, you're out of here. So what structure did you build? You didn't build no structure, nigga. Okay, yeah, the white folks, they had their structures up and running. We dismantled our structures with social integration. Okay, so there was nothing for the black woman to join the black man into. The black woman was going to find a corporate job working for the white man, and the black man was right beside her doing the same damn thing. He wasn't trying to go build his own corporate structure and compete with the rest of the world. He trying to go join the white man. Okay, but see, he's not gonna mention. He's not gonna talk about that. I digress. Let's continue.
40 years ago, they do now. Why? Because wealth is actually destabilizing their own families. And this is a phenomenon that's worldwide. But Gab, I am not going to put the chart up today because you said you don't need any facts. So for this rant, I'm not going to put up any either. You got to go look it up. So when I hear these shaming tactics that are calling black men pussies and black men bitches and black men this, that, and the other for not holding together the black community that black women really don't want, really try to destroy it from the inside because they're following the opportunities that their white sisters have. And if you don't believe that the black and white sisterhood exists, look at the trial of Amber Geiger. Those black women hugged and played in Amber Geiger's hair in Dallas and didn't care that the cameras were there. It still exists. The Miss Ann syndrome still exists. Because
all right, that had nothing to do with the Amber Geiger stuff. That had nothing to do with a black women, white women sisterhood. That was out of fear. Black people do that shit out of fear. Okay, they don't want to be seen as. You gotta be honest. A lot of black folks in America are still afraid of white folks, for whatever reason. They're still afraid. Okay, these other groups come over here and they compete. They even gentrify white people out of their own fucking neighborhoods, like the East Asians and stuff. All right, but for some reason, niggas still running around, butt dancing and having all this slave fear for white folks. And that's all that was. And you know what? Black men and black women do it. How come he didn't say nothing about the nigga that his brother, Botham Jean's brother, got up on the damn stand and told that white lady he didn't even want her to go to jail? Nigga, what the fuck? So what the fuck did he want to happen then? Did he want her to go to fucking what did he want her to do? You want her to go to anger management or Alcoholics Anonymous, thinking that's gonna help her? Is that what you want her to do? Community service? Is that what she should have got for killing your brother? See, he not gonna talk about the nigga that, and then the mother nigga right there in the fucking sidebar of this video. You see her, that nigga hugging that white woman and shit. He damn near had his left hand on her ass, nigga. And you ain't talking about that? That's the mindset that civil rights generation created. All that Christian I forgive shit, all that came out of civil rights, all the non-violent civil rights generation. Okay? And you ain't even talking about that, BGS. You skipping right over that. And trying to put everything on the black woman. Black women is black women. But black women, they want to be just in the sisterhood with the white women. Most black women I know don't even have white females as fucking friends. But then again, I'm a millennial, so I'm mainly looking at millennial black women. I don't see a lot of black girls my age hanging out with white girls. Kicking it with white. I see them hanging out with each other when I go out in the public. I don't see a lot of black. That's some shit that happened in your generation, nigga. Because y'all was so busy trying to be a part of the white man's power structure and not trying to build your own. Then you want to blame the women for what they was doing, but you wasn't building anything. I digress. Let's continue.
Amber Geiger has blonde hair and blue eyes, and they can't wait to touch it, hug it, and appeal to Miss Ann. So now you're trying to make black men feel guilty about their lack of ability to do anything, even though they didn't train themselves. They weren't given very much. And the women that they were given are uncooperative, but they're supposed to all of a sudden make these women cooperative by controlling an environment they have never controlled. All of a sudden, you're supposed to control an environment that you never controlled. You're supposed to seize power that you've never had.
There he goes. This whole concept of perpetual helplessness. This is the reason right here, BGS, why women don't want to follow you and guys like you, and why y'all motherfuckers is running over there to that red pill shit. Let's continue.
And you're not a man. You're a man not until you do. And at the end of the day, if you happen to get lucky enough to seize power and get lucky enough to control your environment, guess what your prize is going to be? The woman that really didn't want you in the first place and has shown you disrespect and contempt. That's your prize, really. So we're supposed to move heaven and hell, which is basically white supremacy, or what's left of it, level the ground and rebuild a society just so we can get cooperation from women that don't want to give us cooperation. Give us a prize of unknown value. Like if the black woman cooperates with the black man, all of a sudden the heavens are going to open up. Manna is going to drift down. Milk and honey is going to flow down the rivers. All of a sudden a paradise, a black paradise will open up. because black women actually want to cooperate. If that is the case, and that is the result, wouldn't you think that black women would cooperate and negotiate and say, hey, look, if we cooperate together, the heavens will open up, manna will float down, the waters will be clean, milk and honey will flow everywhere, and basically we will start a new era and it'll be prosperous and enjoyable for everybody. You're trying to sell us something that the women don't even believe. We have to create that atmosphere before they even will accept it. So their cooperation is unnecessary. If we can create it by ourselves, we don't need them. What do we need them for? Any woman will do. If we create this magical oasis of black people, any woman will do. We don't need them. In fact, it's probably better if we don't get them. Because if they don't like it, they'll tear it down like they did before. You're telling us we don't need them. We should prove to them.
Okay, what did they tear down before? Because you can't say that, nigga, because you didn't build anything, nigga. Civil rights generation, they sold their businesses to go fucking march with Dr. King. That's who tore the shit down. They literally sold their shit to Jews so they can go march with Dr. King and beg the dominant society to be a part of their institutions. But see, you notice see how this nigga completely jump over and skip over that? Let's continue.
Something that we have to do by ourselves so that they will come. So no, we got to do all this shit without them for their approval. And the guys on the reptile side said, why should we do that? Why do we need their approval? Why do we need their stamp? Why do we need to convince them to listen to us? Most black guys would rather that the shit just worked and we wouldn't even have to talk to them. All we really need their submission or their cooperation is not to rule over them. We just need their cooperation so the shit will run right. If black women don't want shit to run right, then you know what? We need to go find women that do want shit to run right. If black women were on board with shit running right and being cooperative and being peaceful and being happy and being all this kind of stuff that you actually project that should happen, then it would be an easy sell. You could just simply say, black man, you have the best woman for you. She's cooperative, she's industrious, she's faithful, she's loyal, she's all those things, that qualities that you look for in a woman that will make a solid, happy family. Everything you look for is in your own woman already. All you got to do is walk over to the other side.
All right, have anyone ever asked themselves if BGS feels that these other non-black women are so cooperative and you know willing to work with you and all of that? How come he doesn't have one? Why is he still all by his damn self? Has anyone ever wondered that? Let's continue.
Side of bridge and get her because she's already ready to package and ready to cooperate. You ain't got to do all that fucking work. You ain't got to convince her shit. She's already ready. That's an easy sell. It's like you walk into a car dealership and you have two lots. You have a used car lot and you have a brand spanking new car lot. What's the difference? The used car lot, you walk over to it and the guy says, you know what? This would be a nice car, but the thing is it needs a lot of work. You got to do engine work, make sure that it runs right. Transmission needs to be rebuilt. The tires are okay. The upholstery is nice. Okay. Look at the way it looks. It needs a little paint, but the upholstery is nice. Look at the body shape. Now you're gonna have to change the steering because the steering is off. You might have to tweak the frame because if you roll down the street in this car, basically you don't see four tire patterns. And anytime you try to turn, it's gonna wobble. To get over 60 miles an hour, the wheels are gonna vibrate. Okay. You have to fix the frame, fix all that kind of stuff. But once you get it done, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have a beautiful car that's an envy of everybody. It'll be perfect for you after you put in all this work. Then you're gonna scratch your head and say, what is it gonna cost me, man? They show you the price tag. It's not even a discount. It's actually going to cost you more. So you walk up to the new car dealership, right? Salesman walks up and says, welcome, sir. I know exactly what you want. Then he sits you in the car. It's got 6 miles on it. And you ask him, does this car have any problems? The guy says, problems for what? There's no problems. Brand new car. It's in the showroom. Paint's nice, brand new engine, 6 miles on it. It's been tested at the factory. All the options are in it already. You got your nice stereo. You got the color that you want. Maybe the color's a little off, a little bit. You know, you can get it painted if you don't really like the color. But the color, is the color acceptable? Yeah, man, you know what, the color's cool. So, and when you, in the used car, when you started up the engine, it made a lot of noise and it rattled and knocked and stuff like that. And basically, it hurt your ears because, you know, you couldn't trust that engine. So you go with the new car, and I say, hey, man, well, turn it on, let me hear it. Guy turns the key. Now, you heard the thing start, and you think, wait a minute, is it running? You know that new car, a brand new car when everything's factory tightened and tuned. And you have to put your ear to the hood to hear it. So, man, is this thing running? He said, yeah, it's running. So he lifts the hood, and you see the little belts, you know, going like 1,000 miles an hour, and you hear this whisper. That car's showroom ready. It's street ready. All you got to do is sign the papers and drive it out, and keep regular maintenance on it, and you're good. You might have that car 20 years and nothing happens to it. It came ready. So you're trying to compare women that come ready, without a story, without a whole bunch of work, without you having to put in a whole bunch of work, just to get it running right. It comes off the showroom floor running right already.
Okay, so he's letting you know right now he's not interested in investing in his own community. He sees no value in that. Every other race of man, when they see their own community has problems, they will invest, they do what they gotta do, okay, to turn things around. But BGS, he doesn't want to do the work. He doesn't want to put in the work. He doesn't believe it's worth it. So he'll sit up here and he'll talk about the accomplishments of the patriarchies of all these other groups of men, fucking China and the damn tech industry and all that shit, and Japan and shit, okay, Russia and all that. But he won't. He doesn't feel that he doesn't see any value in investing in his own people. Y'all need to take note of that. Let's continue.
Ready. And you tell the new car guy, you know what? I told the man at the used car lot that I would give him a decision today. So you get on the phone and call the dude. Say, hey man, you know what? Found this new car. The price is right. Never been driven. Runs fine. I mean, the engine is so smooth. I can't believe it. I can't even hear the damn thing. And the guy salesman at the used car lot, I was like, you know what? I understand that the new car is better. I understand that it's smoother. I understand that it does exactly what you want right off the lot with almost zero work. All you got to do is make the payments. But this car over here, you got to understand that it has a story. That the Carfax says it's been in a storm, a couple of hurricanes, and it's been hit a couple times. And it's been damaged. And it's not the car's fault that it's been damaged. It's not the car's fault that it doesn't run right. The last owner didn't take care of the engine. And so that's how come it knocks. So you should reconsider, because it's really not the fault of the car that the condition of the car is the way it is. And you should weigh that when you're trying to buy this new car that has zero work. What are you going to tell that dude? Hey, dude, I didn't wreck the car. I didn't damage the car. It wasn't my fault that it got knocked out. I didn't do it. I had no power to do it. I had no power to do it to the car. I wasn't the owner. So the story that you gave me is irrelevant, because I am not to blame for the condition that the car is in. Well, sir, I know that you're not to blame. Well, then why are you trying to get me to buy a car that's not suitable for my needs just because it's in a condition that I had nothing to do with? What does that sound like? It sounds exactly the story that they tell you about black women, that she is not responsible for the condition she's in. And everybody knows that she's not. She's not responsible for her. She is responsible for her behavior. But she's not responsible for the conditions that develop her behavior, develop her problems. Of course she's not. Everybody agrees. No black man will tell you that the black woman is responsible for the conditions that her and her forebears came up in. No, they're not. Also, what they forget to include, neither are you. That's what they can't argue. Neither are you. We're only responsible for what is now. Well, we were always loyal to you, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't, because when you had a chance, you took the better deal. You would take the better deal if you had the chance. You're taking the better deal now. Black women are trying to go with white Ann and ride her coattails to power over and above you. It's not the first time that it happened. So we need to be honest about.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of black men didn't build anything. They didn't build any structure to include the black woman in. So, in the absence of that, the black women, some black women, are looking at, okay, let's go join this feminist structure of the white woman. Because our own men don't see a value in building a structure in their own community. You basically sat there and said, BGS, earlier in the video, you said you're not a part of black America. So why the fuck are you complaining? Let's continue.
The situation that we're in and come to the table with the truth so we can actually work this stuff out. And the reason that we're even at the table is because men are willing to listen. We know that it's not your fault. We know that the situation that you and we are in is not our fault. Okay? None of our faults from the beginning to end. The bullshit that we were conquered is bullshit. The thing that we failed to protect, you and us, is bullshit. We're sold by people that look like us into this situation that we're in. There's nothing that you could have done. Zero that you could have done. You're not one from big group of people that came in, got conquered, and got pushed out. It wasn't like that. You were sold from many different villages and many different places. You were kidnapped, sold, however the fuck you got here, that's how you got here. How your ancestors got here. There's 1,000 different stories. You wound up here, you got put into a class. They brought the women over as concubines to produce more. And now we got over here with no culture, no history, no nothing, and now we have to figure it out. We all have to figure it out. So blaming black men for this stuff is stupid. It's idiotic. It's bullshit. They're not to blame for it, just like you're not to blame for it. Black men are not to blame. That's first thing. Just like you're not to blame for the situation that you're in because you have absolute zero control over it. Same thing with black men. We're not to blame for the condition that you're in either. It has nothing to do with manhood. If it had something to do with manhood, Africa wouldn't have got conquered. China wouldn't have got conquered. Russia wouldn't have got put on its knees. Germany wouldn't have been defeated. Japan would have been on its knees. The Philippines would have been on its knees. Mexico would have been on its knees. Okay? This shit happens. Happens to all men. All groups of men, including white people. When the Moors came in and conquered white people, they couldn't. There's nothing they could have done. They had to get blended in. And acceded to the time. It is what it is. All men go through this shit. To say that you're less of a man because this shit happened to you, not one singular group of men. You are formed as a class.
Okay, but the problem is, BGS, you keep using this as an excuse over and over and over and over again to excuse black men's failure. Is basically what you do. Let's continue.
As you pushed in together into the same pen. To say that we're here to protect you, that's hogwash. You can leave that shit alone right now. You can kick that myth to the curb. When we were sent over here, we're brought over to work. When you were sent over here, you weren't brought over as our women. You were brought over as his women, as the white man's women. That's what you were brought over here for. You just got assigned to us because he didn't need you anymore. And all of a sudden, we're supposed to be responsible for your history of slavery. It's bullshit. Don't even throw that out anymore. Kick that to the curb. Let's start fresh. Let's start with the truth. There was never a negotiation with us. There was never a unwritten code between black men and black women. Now there has to be. But it cannot be if you're going to try to blame us for shit that didn't happen. Now, to black men's credit, they did try to get out of the situation they were in and pull you along with them, which they did. History is replete with black men going to war, fighting, trying to free themselves and free you right along with them, against all odds. But black men never get credit for that. They don't get credit for that. They get credit for, oh, we wouldn't have wound up here if it hadn't been for you. Okay. I'm telling black men, you know what? If that is the case, and that's what you believe, I say, you know what, let them have it. Fine. We didn't protect you. The reason that you got over here is because of us, and everything's our fault. Fine. Reduce our credit score. Put our credit score to 0. Fine. Now, our credit score is 0. Guess what? We don't want to buy you anymore. We don't want what you're selling because we're free. You said that what we did in the past is nothing, and it means nothing. Our shared history is nothing, and none of that counts. Fine. Okay. We're no good. We're not worth anything. Fine. That means you don't want us. Good. Now we're free to go someplace else. We don't have to listen to you. We don't.
All right. Now, where is he getting this? Is I don't hear a black woman saying that. Saying that, you know, who's saying this to him? Or he's talking about someone who saw fit to say these things to him personally, individually. I don't have those kind of interaction with black women like that. Okay, so what it is someone thought he wasn't worth it. Someone thought he, you know, his lemon wasn't worth squeezing. Okay, you realize he's talking about himself at this point. All right, let's continue.
Don't have to listen to what you're selling. Oh, but the black community. No, you just said that none of the stuff that we've done in the past, against all odds, means anything. So if the stuff that we've done in the past doesn't mean anything, if we do it now, just in 10 years, what it's going to mean? Nothing. If all the stuff that we've done in the past to pull black folks out of the morass of the lower classes and try to give everybody a chance, try to give black people a chance, not only for you, but for ourselves, and that means nothing, what makes us believe that it's going to mean something in the future? You can't respect the stuff that we've already done. So what makes us think you're going to respect the stuff that we're getting ready to do? Past performance is a predictor of the future. Predictor of future performance. Past performance says that the first opportunity that you think that you can get a leg up, you'll throw us under the bus. That's what the past says. Well, no, we didn't. Well, then prove it. Prove that you did throw us under the bus. Prove it. Oh, we don't have to prove it because we're women. Really? Is that what we're going with? The women don't have to prove anything? They just have to be? Well, who says that? There's no place else in the world says that except the black community. The women ain't got to do shit. The women don't have to prove anything. Women ain't got to cooperate. Women don't have to submit. Women ain't got to do nothing. All the black men have to show and prove. Black men have to climb over that wall, as K. Michelle says. If you can't climb over the wall, then you need to stay on the other side of the wall. And black men say, you know what? Guess what? I peeked over that wall and see what I'm getting. And guess what? What I'm going to get on the other side of that wall is inadequate. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to stay on this other side of the wall and see what else is out there. I'm going to go find me another wall that's a little lower. In fact, let me find a place where there's a stair step, where there's a ladder already laid out for me. Why should I struggle? Well,
Okay, so he's talking about a stair step and a ladder built by other races of men's patriarchies. That's really what he's talking about. He doesn't want to build his own stair step, his own ladder. He wants to go jump into another man's patriarchy. And he's wondering why he's not getting the kind of difference from women that he wants. Okay, let's continue.
Men are supposed to struggle. Bullshit. If men are supposed to struggle, we'd still be walking everywhere. We'd still be riding horses and cows or whatever we could find on the back of animals going from one side of the country to the next. We invent stuff so that we don't have to struggle. That's what they call progress. The modern society is built on not struggling. You don't have to go through famine anymore because the famine has been eliminated because of modern society. There's plenty of food. So much food gets thrown away. Now, the reason that people are even hungry in the United States is because of profit. Because if they give the food away, it drives the profit margin down. Same.
So here he goes with the whole socialistic brainwashing.
Thing with healthcare. It drives the profit margin down. Otherwise, they make it cheaper. That's another rant for another day. The reason that you progress so that you don't have to struggle. That's why black women don't struggle. That's when they can choose the direction they want to go. And I perfect, you know what? And I'm going to say this. Black women have every right to choose the man that's best for them. Every right to choose whatever man is best for them, no matter what color he is. They have to choose. They have a right to choose. They have a right to choose their preference, their color, their lineage, whatever factors that mean something to them. They have every right to choose it. But so do the men. Just because they choose doesn't mean we have to choose them or choose the factors that we engage upon. Nobody died and left you in charge. And your agents and your salesmen, they have, I'm going to tell you, their pitches suck. If I were you, and I had them as pitchmen, I had them as agents, I would tell them that their pitches suck, their sales pitches suck. And you tell us all every day that you don't really care about what we think and what we want, because stuffing your face with cheap food and not being healthy is more important to you than attracting us. You're not even trying to attract us. You're not even concerned because you don't think that we're worthy of it. And you show it to us.
Okay, so all these young girls walking around them. I was just at the mall today. Walking around the mall in they leggings and they little, it's still spring, so a little spring tank tops and shorts and all of that. They're not trying to draw the attention of men and boys. Okay, where do you get this stuff up from? Talk about the black women eats, she eating unhealthy food. Okay, well, she's eating the same food that all these other races of women are eating. Okay, obesity is up across the board. You can't just say it's black women. It's up across the board. So, but is he talking about white women? Like, what about all the obese white women out here? Okay, is he talking about them? No, he's only focusing on the black women, his enemy. Okay, but I digress. Let's keep going.
Every day that you don't think that we're worthy, and you say it to us. You come to my page and say that black men aren't worthy. In fact, I'm going to unblock some people. I start collecting it and posting it as a demonstration. I might even go back on Facebook and start collecting memes that show how black women think and feel about us. They think that we are not worth their time or worth their effort. And you know what? I have to agree with them. If they have a right to set their price and set their preferences, and if they tell us that we're inadequate for what they want and what they need, we have to accept it. Take our little bruised egos and our penises and go home and rejigger and find women that are willing to accept the price that we're willing to offer. If I can't afford an overpriced truck, an old Mercedes, because the price is too high and it doesn't meet my needs, like a used car salesman, I don't want to put in work to get it up to snuff. Hell, they're selling this nice little Toyota or this Brazilian car that will get me from A to B, and it runs fine and at half price. Let me go check this out so I can actually get on the road to being happy, because the pursuit of happiness is what it's all about. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Legacy comes after that. Driving yourself to the point of suicide and not living your life, the life that you have, makes no sense. And I'm gonna end with this. I hear legacy, I hear generational wealth, I hear all that bannered about what black people don't produce or people don't produce, period, right? That what black men should do. And that should be the driving reason that they go back and struggle and they sacrifice themselves. And I have no problem with that. I'm gonna tell you up front, I have no problem with that. But I'm gonna go esoteric on you. Your legacy didn't come from man. Your legacy didn't come from your group. Your legacy came from the creator. What is your legacy? Your legacy is the ability to be on this plane and breathe air and have an opportunity to be content and to be happy. That is your legacy endowed upon you by your creator. And the excesses of your happiness and your contentment and your well-being can be passed down to the next generation, so they will have a foothold to be happy and content and well-being, which adds to the legacy that their creator has endowed upon them. Your ultimate goal, your ultimate legacy is to be content, is to be happy. Not work yourself to the grave, work your fingers to the bone, to the point where you're going to put a bullet in your mouth or basically slit your wrists because you're so fucking unhappy, and blow the legacy, the ultimate legacy that your creator gave you, so somebody else can be happy. That's backwards. Ultimately, your life is yours, not your children's, not your woman's, not your community's, okay? Your life is yours. An expression of your life.
Okay, so now he's preaching individualism here. The very thing that all these other groups that are in America today, that the black community and black men have to compete with don't preach. They preach legacy, and you gotta work with the community, and you gotta, help other people in your community become wealthy and get rich and get on and get on jobs and that kind of thing. But here he is preaching in individuality. Well, you're gonna get ran over by other people who have more of a who have a stronger group than you. That's just ultimately what's gonna happen. But I digress. Let's continue.
Adds to your community, adds to your women, adds to your children. Because that's an enhancement of what? Your happiness, your contentment. And if it doesn't make you happy and it doesn't make you content, you shouldn't do it. I don't care what nobody says. If it doesn't make you happy, doesn't make you content, doesn't help you sleep at night, you shouldn't do it. Don't let people tell you that you're a bitch made or you're not a man or any kind of other bullshit because you won't do what they're asking you to do. Because you won't serve their agenda. Bullshit. A man serves his own agenda. Point blank. Period. That's what a man does. Rich people do it all the time. Your betters that we call the wealthy don't go around thinking they're going to serve you or serve your community. I'm not saying be selfish. I'm not saying don't share. I'm not saying any of that. That should come out of your excess, not your primary. That is your spare. That is your spare happiness. That woman should make you happier, not miserable. Your children should make you happier, as mine did. I enjoyed my children. I would not trade any of my children for anything. The stuff that I had to go through for my children, I did. And I did it because I loved my children. They made my life better. In spite of the women. I put up with the women because my children made my life better. They made me happy. I did not take care of my children and serve my children because they were a miserable pain in the ass. They were not. My children made me happy. I still enjoy my children. I still love my children, even to this day, even though they're adults. Even my grandchild, even though I have to sit there and struggle with him to do his work, because of the love that I have for him, the love that he has for me, it does something to me. It enhances my life. It doesn't make it worse. That's why I do it. I don't do it just for him. I do it because it enhances me. It enhances my life. It makes me happy. Same people, some people buy a dog. They don't buy a dog so they can feed him and eat poops all over the place. They buy the dog. They take care of the dog. They have the dog as a pet because the dog enhances their life. I have children because not to compare children to a dog because children enhance my life. They always have. I've never had issues with having children. I've had a great family that has helped me raise them, which made the enhancement better. But the thing is, I've never had issues with my children. They made me happy. One thing I was not going to do is struggle for an ideal because I had a child. If my ex has done it, she did it for a year. You take them out of my life, okay, well, fine, take them out of my life. I'm not going to fight you and be miserable to have a child. I'm not going to be miserable fighting you over no kid. You don't want me to see the kid, and I got to fight you to see the kid. Guess what? I don't need a kid. Here's my child support. I'm paying you to leave me the fuck alone. Child support is paying you to leave me the fuck alone. Stay the fuck away from me. So I can go on and be happy doing something else. I'm paying you for my happiness. If I can't enjoy my children, enjoy being a father, take them someplace else. I am not wedded to an ideal that somebody else imposed on me. Because an ideal is a construct that somebody else imposes on you that you didn't make up and you don't have to follow. The thing is, you do not have to follow somebody else's ideal. You don't have to follow somebody else's ideal of a community. If the community does not serve you, does not make you happy, does not keep you safe, does not serve you in a broader context, and people cannot prove to you where this community is actually going to serve you and benefit you, you don't have to do that shit. That's an ideal that they have, that they have to sell you on. They have to sell you on that stuff. They can't shame you and say you're supposed to accept it. Bullshit. Prove it. Well, I ain't got to prove nothing. Yes, you do. Well, look back in history. There's a reason that people had a community back in history. Those reasons don't exist today. That's a theory. Prove the goddamn theory. Because history doesn't match up what the fuck you're talking about. It doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to end this rant by saying culture is a construct. Ideals are a construct made up by people. Communities are made up by people that have a contract with one another of mutual benefit. The black community is made up of people that have a mutual benefit. They come together to get things done that will benefit one another. Not for you to sacrifice yourself on something that you're not going to get anything out of. That's bullshit. It never was that way. No community exists that way. No community exists to where they extract something out of somebody else at their benefit. If you don't get something out of this, then no, you don't have to participate in the community. I would never tell you that. You have to believe that you're getting some kind of benefit out of the community or being in this collection that we call a community, a subculture of being black that's going to benefit you, enhance your life, and by an extension, your family's life. And if it does not, then you have every right not to be in it. And nobody can shame you to be in it just because of your color. Africans are the same color. They have no bonds to this community. That should tell you something. And they have more of the melanin than you do. Because when they sold your ass here, the melanin in your skin didn't mean shit. Did it? Anyway, it's gone on long enough, and this is probably a stream of consciousness that probably could last 2 hours. And I know people do live streams, where they go on and on and on and on and on for 2 hours. may jump all over the place just like I am. So forgive me for ranting. And I don't think I cussed, did I? Well, I might not have. So this might not be a rant. This might just be a ramble. But you decide. Put it in the comment section. Was this a rant or was this a ramble? If you make it this far, I know what you put in the comment section whether you made it this far or not. And I don't expect anybody, like I said, when I first started doing this, I didn't expect anybody to listen to this. But you listen to the first 5 minutes and click off. If you do that, that's fine. If you listen to the first 2 minutes, if it's not for you and you click off, I ain't mad at you.
All right, that's enough. All right. What do y'all think of BGS's logic in this? Let me know what y'all think. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one off. I had said what I wanted to say. But if you like it, go ahead and get the lights up. Let me know what y'all think about this. Let's have a discussion, y'all. Peace.